Ta-da! Oh, amazing! So moving in and moving on to both those things. Cheers. Cheers.
I think about halfway through the writing process, probably around episode 5, we felt like we were building to a Patrick and Kevin-centric episode.
They're finding out about each other after moving in, which is always a tricky thing.
Not a good idea. I mean, I wouldn't do that. Would you do that?
Hell no.
Hell no. 5 years at least. You've got to get to know someone before you move in with them, like, unless you're crazy. And I think they have both rushed into it. They've been swept up with finally they're together, finally they're a couple. And so they've then thrown themselves into being together.
It cannot be an orgy situation, not with this group of vanilla cupcakes.
I think it's not for sure a full-on sex party, but it's definitely something naughty is going to go down.
Weirdly, Patrick is the one that's like, yeah, let's stay around and have a look. And Kevin is like, no, let's leave. I think that's an interesting dynamic to have happened at that party, because then afterwards, it kind of switches around.
I think we wanted to show a little bit of uncertainty, like, are we going to stay and dive in? Are we going to demurely walk out?
Maybe those parties do happen. Have you ever been one to one, Michael?
I throw them.
Michael is the sex party organizer of the Los Angeles area.
Do you actually want to be with me? Because it feels like you're looking for an escape. I mean, literally, above your head is a sign that says exit.
We wanted to talk about the complex nature of how modern relationships can be. Both of them are being very honest in this episode about what they want. It's messy and it's complicated and there are no right answers.
I think Kevin does have a fair point. I think he believes that he's being a realist, and Patrick is just naturally more of a romantic, and they have slightly different outlooks on what monogamy is and how relationships work, and I think that's something they're both struggling with.
And I think over the season we've tried hard to show that there are different forms of relationships. Patrick might want monogamy, Kevin might want something else. Lynn and Dom were in a purely open relationship. And so I think it's always important to us that we do show there are just different forms of relationships and all of them as valid as each other.
Can you wear this for the next 2 weeks? Okay.
Augustine and Eddie's story has certainly come to its pinnacle, I suppose. We see that they're together, they're happy, things are looking up for Augustine. And I think over this course of this season, comparing what happened in episode 10 to going back to how he was in episode 1, there's an enormous change for Augustine. He's making better decisions, but as, you know, all people are, he'll probably make more bad decisions in the future.
This has been like going through the worst fucking breakup that I've ever been through.
But we do kind of need to break up, Dor.
I think the makeup is a good makeup between them because it's like a subtle makeup. It's not, great, we're all best friends again, let's move back to our little apartment. It is like, we need to move to the next stage in our relationship. For Dom and for Patrick and for Augustine, for all of them, for them to fulfill their dreams, they need to stand on their own 2 feet. And Dom needs to do that by himself.
And I think we've seen Doris go through so much this season. If last season she was kind of the person who stuck her head in and said something funny, this year she's experienced a lot. We've seen her grow as a character. We've learned so much about her. So I think it makes sense that she's asserting herself in her own life and growing that apart from Dom as well.
You just have to trust me.
Kevin's last line to Patrick of "you just need to trust me" sends Patrick in a certain direction. And when he picks up that scapular out of the box, to me, it's about trust and Patrick looking towards someone he does trust.
Finally get to cut your hair. You ready?
I'm ready.
For that final line when he says, I'm ready, I think it's even not I'm ready to be with you now, Richie. It's like I'm ready to get what I want, because I know what I want now. And maybe that will be with Richie, so let's see what happens. But it's more important that he knows what it is he wants.